PNR Networks is a member of Patreon. Show your love for our shows by joining our ongoing fundraising campaign and get some fantastic perks in return. Check it out and become a Patreon sponsor. You can sign up at patreon.com, patreon.com/PNR Networks. And thanks for your support.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
It's Kim versus TC in the battle of the lists.
My list is better.
My list is better.
My list is better.
No, it's not. My list is better.
Kim or TC, who has the better list? From Subject Cinema, this is Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and TC Kirkham.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another week here on Front Row 5 and 10, brought to you by the good folks that bring you Subject Cinema. That would be me and him, the me being Kim Brown.
And the him being TC Kirkham.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. Our list show where we do crazy lists all the time.
Yes.
You know what's really irritating me? Ever
that?
since we set up the brand new PNRNetworks.com website, we're getting a lot of feedback from people.
Are we?
Yeah, bots.
Oh.
I haven't received one real letter over there. You can feedback over there, or you can write to us at Front Row at PNR Networks and send us your ideas for lists, and we'll be glad to produce them for you. And if we use them, we'll give you a prize and get you on the show and mention you.
Definitely, or even
cool
just
stuff.
Comment on a list, send us your own list.
Yes, we'd love to hear your stuff, please.
We really would.
Because we miss hearing from everybody all the time. We know you're still out there. We can see our stats.
Yeah.
So we'd like to hear from you. Oh, this was your week.
It was. This was my week, so I came up with top 10 rock ballads. Now,
this was killer for everybody.
Yeah, this wasn't. I thought, this will be easy. This will be fun. And I'm going, what have I done?
I stopped at 40. I could have had more, but I stopped at 40.
Okay, well, I have to be honest. Not all of these are rock ballads, as in, screaming guitars and stuff. Most of them are, but one of them definitely does not qualify for that.
No.
So, other
Is
than
that what you used for your definition of that? Screaming guitar ballads?
No, not always. Not always.
Because mine don't have that in most places.
No, not all. Some of mine do. They have some really, awesome stuff in the middle, and some of them are songs that you just wouldn't have expected from a specific band because they were known for harder stuff. But everybody has a soft side. So
yeah.
Yes.
You don't have any runners up?
I figured if I did that, we'd be here till next week.
Okay.
So, you do have runners up, so go nuts.
Before I say I have runners up, I've made a prediction. I've listed 7 songs that I'm almost positive are on her top 10. I'm going to see how right we are as we go through.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, I came up with 40. I stopped because I knew if I'd go any further, I'd get stuck. I'd have real problems. So my runners-up are my 20 through 11. I ranked the top 20. So here we go.
All right.
Number 20 is Beth by Kiss. Number 19, Call to the Heart by Jafria from 1985. Number 18, Waiting for a Girl Like You by Foreigner. Number 17, When Love and Hate Collide by Def Leppard. Number 16, Disturbed's haunting version of The Sound of Silence from Simon and Garfunkel. Number 15, Dream Until Tomorrow by Lynch Mob from 1992. Or 93, I forget which. Number 14, My Immortal by Evanescence, which I just adore. Number 13, Heaven by Warrant. Number 12, Babe by Styx. And number 11, When You Love a Woman by Journey. Which is from their 1996 album.
All right. I don't think I know that song. Okay.
That was the last album they did with Steve Perry. It was done way back in the late 90s.
Okay.
Okay, so, top 10?
Okay.
All right. My starting?
Yes.
Okay.
Since it was my list, you start.
Right. My number 10 is... I have certain bands out there that I have been a lifelong fan of. And 3 of them... I can say I've seen 2 of them live, and the other one I never got a chance to. So, one of them was Hanson. Mm-hmm. Second one, which by the way, Hanson I consider pop, so they're not on this list. If they were, it would probably be the top 5 songs.
Okay.
Number 2 is the Carpenters, and number 3 is Def Leppard. Number 10 is a song by Def Leppard, but it's not the song that everybody knows. It's a really great song off of Slang, which is not one of their more successful albums here in the States, although it was huge in Europe. It's weird. All the albums that were hugely successful here weren't big over in their native UK, and the ones that weren't big here were huge overseas. My number 10 rock ballad is Breathe a Sigh from Slang. Okay. This song has always been one of my favorite songs by them. It was such a shame that it never became a big hit in the States. And we're going to try and put together a Spotify list with most of the stuff on the list. So you'll get to hear it, hopefully, because I think it's on Spotify. But it's this mostly acoustic, guitar-driven, really kind of sensual little ode to making love. It's really, really great. Number 10, Breathe a Sigh by Def Leppard.
Okay. I do have to bring up that out of your list of runners-up, there are 2 songs that are in my top 10. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised there's that little, but there it is.
Most of the other ones are probably in my 20 through 40.
My number 10 is... it's the oldest song on my list, so I'm not sure what that says, but it's just, there it is. My number 10 is Beth by Kiss from the album from 1976, Destroyer. It is just this truly haunting song, the way that it's done, talking about sung by Peter Criss, and on the album Smashes, Trashes, and Hits, it was sung by the late Eric Carr, and he did an amazing job as well. Eric, we still miss you. There's just something so incredibly sad about this song, talking about being a performer and talking about, just a few more hours and I'll be back home to you, and then getting to the end of the song and the whole, Beth, I know you're lonely and I hope you'll be all right, but me and the boys will be playing all night. Mm-hmm. And it's such a haunting song. It's so incredibly moving and sad. And this is the band that spit fire and blood and did all this other crazy stuff. And man, did I want to do that. When I was a kid, I was like, wow, that's amazing. So my number 10, Beth.
Yeah, that was their only number 1 hit, by the way.
I know, yes, I know
and
that.
Their second biggest hit was I Was Made for Loving You.
Yes, I'm also aware of that.
My number 9 was voted the greatest music video of all time by MTV over the last several years. I don't know if they've done it recently, but there's not a lot that can hold a candle to the song, to the video, to the performance. It's just magnificent. Number 9, Guns N' Roses, November Rain. This song, 8 minutes and 16 seconds, I think it is just Axl Rose at his vocal best, performing this intense love lost song. The video is just an amazing, major award winner at the VMAs that year. And it proves, that they were capable of doing less than, heavy metal grade.
It wasn't all sleaze.
It's not that I didn't like Patience, but it was never one of my favorite songs. Mm-hmm. But I love November Rain. It's just one of my all-time favorites. Number 9. Okay. Guns N' Roses, November Rain.
Actually, according to the stuff I've been reading, Beth reached number 7. I don't know if it ever reached number 1 on the Hot 100.
What's that? What are you reading?
For Beth.
No, I mean, what are you reading to get that information?
Billboard's Hot 100. Okay. Anyway. I know that my number 9 is not going to be on your list, because I know you're not terribly fond of this band. Mm-hmm. I was very fond of this band. I got to see them in concert. I thought they were amazing. I loved this song. I just loved and still love the voice of the lead singer. He had this voice that could just scream when he wanted to and almost purr when he wanted it to. My number 9 is This Love from Whitesnake, from their self-titled album. See, I knew that was going to happen, in 1987.
You're correct, by the way.
There's just something about this song that just really melted my butter. I just really, really enjoyed it. And I know some people will be like, oh, you were just looking at David Coverdale, blah, blah, blah. In fact, this whole list is people you wanted to have, relations with, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
Intimate carnal knowledge of.
Yes. Woman needs don't judge. But.
Look at now.
Yes, well, we all get older, don't we?
Yeah, especially David Coverdale.
Oh, come on, quit that! He's
Joey
still
Tempest?
If you're going to be a complete jerk during this, I just loved everything about this song. The guitar work is amazing. David's vocals are just awesome. I just love it. My number 9 is This Love from Whitesnake.
My number 8 is another song that I know is a favorite of Kim's, but it's also a favorite of mine. There have been a couple of remakes of it that actually weren't half bad in recent years, but nothing comes close to the original. And Kim happens to be extremely close to it because, well, they're from Boston. So it's like, well, they're from Boston and Revere, if I'm not mistaken. Number 8, More Than Words by Extreme. I had the pleasure of meeting Gary Cherone once. He's a very funny and sweet guy. It's a shame his time at Van Halen didn't work out, because he was really good after Extreme split. You have always been a lot bigger fan of theirs than I am.
Yeah.
I love some of their stuff, but other stuff that they do, I'm not really terribly crazy about. But More Than Words, which they have forever tried to play down because it just destroyed their rock image. It's the biggest hit they ever had. When they did equally good rock stuff like Get the Funk Out and Wholehearted and Rest in Peace and
stuff
Play With Me.
Stuff off their early
all
album,
kinds
like
of
Play
good
With
stuff.
Me, yeah.
But More Than Words stands as their pinnacle of ballads. It's just a perfect song. Just Gary, Nuno, and guitar. And it was a number 1 hit.
Yes.
I say that because I swear I read Beth number 1 in the book of number 1 hits, but you're right. Whitburn's book says it's only hit number 7. Mm-hmm. Number 8 on my list, More Than Words by Extreme.
Okay. My number 8 is a song that I'm sure when this song first came out, the core audience of this band probably all went, what the hell? Because it definitely doesn't sound like their usual stuff. My number 8 is Home Sweet Home from Motley Crue, from their 1985 album Theater of Pain. The Motley Crue's actually done some really good ballads. There's Without You. But this is the one that I like better. I just like Home Sweet Home. I like the imagery of being on the road all the time and just the whole idea of coming back to somebody you love. And it's just, I love Vince Neil's voice in this song, and I love the humming at the end of it. It just caps off the song just perfectly. And like I said, when this came out, I'm pretty sure most of the guys that I went to school with, who were, all the metalheads and stuff that were seriously into Motley Crue, they were probably all like, what the hell is this? But their girlfriends liked it and got them in the mood and stuff like that, so I'm sure they didn't care. My number 8, Home Sweet Home from Motley Crue.
That probably would have made my bottom, my runners up if I thought of it. I didn't think of it. Number 7, Kim and I both like this band, but we think of different songs as our songs from them. Mm-hmm. So I can't really get into that because it's a personal thing. But
yeah,
I have loved this band. I've got, again, when I was working with Disc Jockey, I had the opportunity to interview a couple of them, and they were fun. It was a phone interview, and it was a little snarky because I was doing the interview and they were expecting somebody else. But the interview still went pretty well. But the songs doesn't change my opinion of the song. I like this one particularly. I especially love the acoustic version that's available on their acoustic album, which you can find on Spotify. Number 6, When I Look Into Your Eyes by Firehouse. This song is just awesome. It's so twee for a metal band.
I don't know if twee's the word I would have used, but whatever.
Wussy?
That's hey.
Well, I'm just saying, for their image.
Well, they're not
These are the guys that were out there going, hitting all those high falsettos and Don't Treat Me Bad and stuff and all this heavy metal stuff.
Right.
And then suddenly they dropped this off their second album. It's like, whoa, this is really a huge, it was a different sound for them. Although they'd had an earlier ballad that I'm sure Kim is going to get to eventually. There's, this one just, I love this song. That's all I could say. Number 7, When I Look Into Your Eyes by Firehouse.
Okay, my number 7 is also from Firehouse, and it's the song you were just talking about. My number 7 is Love of a Lifetime, from Firehouse's self-titled album, from 1991. This song, every time I hear this song, all I do is just go like this. I can't help it. All I picture is people meeting and finding the love of their lifetime, their OTP, their one true pairing, and it's just that, I just think
Kim's a shipper.
I am a shipper. I admit it. I don't care. I'm proud of it. Proud to ship. Don't hate on shipping. I love this song though. I think it's an absolutely beautiful song. The vocalist for the band, CJ Snare, just has such emotionality in every single word of this song. You could see somebody singing this song and then getting down on one knee and proposing to their significant other, and it would just be beautiful, and everybody would cry, especially me. So my number 7, Love of a Lifetime from Firehouse. Mm-hmm. He's sitting over there ticking all this stuff off because he's inside my head and knows everything that I'm thinking. Yes, I know.
Number 6 is the best love ballad you've never heard. This song was on one of the best albums of 1991, I think it was, maybe 92. No, it had to be 91. And it was just like, people didn't take it seriously at radio because by that point grunge had started to slowly escape Seattle and force its way into the rest of our consciousness, which there's nothing wrong with that because I love Nirvana and I like a few of the other bands.
No, there's nothing wrong with grunge, but you can only listen to Life Sucks, Life Sucks, Life Sucks over and over and over again.
It really kind of just slammed down the glam and heavy metal and hair metal. And right at the time this album came out, and it really didn't deserve it because the album is stupendously good. Not especially stupendously good when you consider that the oldest member of the band was 16 years old. Number 6, Slow and Beautiful by Bad for Good. Bad for Good was fronted by actor-singer Danny Cooksey, also included bassist Zach Young, drummer Brooks Wackerman, and guitarist Thomas McLaughlin. Thomas McLaughlin, his real name. All of whom you can find stuff from on... Zach is... I haven't seen anything by Zach on Spotify, although he's still out there. He had a Vine channel that was pretty popular. But Brooks is still on, I don't know how many different albums he's done. He was with Suicidal Tendencies for a while and Infectious Grooves. And Danny's got a great band called Shelter Dogs out there, which Brooks is also involved with. And Thomas, after 20 years, has suddenly resurfaced with brand new music. Under of course the name McLaughlin, that's what he's known for. They were the proteges of Steve Vai, and the album was stupendously good. I mean, even people who are extremely snobby heavy metal fans loved this album. I know several of them.
Yeah.
And Slow and Beautiful was the best. Cooksey doing lead vocals on everything, and I remember seeing him singing Looking for Love by Johnny Lee when he was 5 years old on The Tonight Show. Now he's in his mid-40s and still at it and still doing really great stuff. And, of course, and forever in reruns in numerous cartoon series.
Right.
So where he does voice work. Number 6, Slow and Beautiful by Bad for Good.
I figured you'd have something on there from Bad for Good because you were a huge fan, as was I. They were awesome. I really thought it was going to be Nothing's Great About a Heartache. But
you didn't think wrong.
Well, oops.
That's all right.
I think I gave something away. My number 6 on my list is a band you've already mentioned and a song you've already mentioned, and I'm going to smack you that it was that low on your... No, I'm not. My number 6 is More Than Words by Extreme.
They're going to smack me for something. I'm surprised you're not smacking me for Beth.
No, I'm not. I wasn't going to do that. Off of their 1991 album, Porno Graffiti, some of us had already heard Extreme's first album. Some of us, you can't see me, but I'm totally raising my hand.
Kim and Stacey wore it out.
Oh, we wore that tape out, driving around in her car, playing music, and probably being those obnoxious teenagers and 20-somethings that you hated back in the day.
You were not a teenager when that came out.
Well,
you were like mid-20s. Early to mid-20s.
Thanks.
Well, you were.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin.
Okay.
Well, More Than Words is a beautiful song. I mean, it's just the sheer simplicity, stripped down bare-boneness of Nuno Betancourt's guitar playing, Gary Sharon's incredible voice. You people that knew him from singing in Van Halen and didn't understand how amazing Gary is, shame on you.
I don't think it was the people.
You didn't deserve him.
Eddie. Eddie's a fool.
You didn't deserve him. That song is absolutely beautiful. And it is ironic that it's one of their most well-known songs, and it's also, people think, oh, they're the band that sang More Than Words. I'm like, yeah, they sang a ton of stuff before that, and it was all awesome. And people that I've turned on to them, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know they sang. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, duh. It's very difficult not to go duh at these people, but they are just absolutely wonderful. They will always be one of my favorite bands, always in my heart, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Number 6, More Than Words by Extreme. Love you guys.
Number 6 is an oddball for me, but it's always been one of my favorite songs. And people don't really think of this song when they think of this band because it was a minor hit, but they had 2 or 3 other monster, what I believe is called progressive rock songs that were huge hits in the early 80s.
Okay.
And I like them. I have all 3 of their albums, the first 3 albums. I love them. They were great. But this one song, the one ballad they did, peaked at like number 36, I think, on the chart. And it was a much better song than it deserved. Number 5 on my list is The Smile Has Left Your Eyes by Asia. I love this song. It is such a heartbreaking song. And the lead vocals of, I think it's John Wetton that does lead vocals, just make it sends chills down your spine. To me. I've always loved it, and I thought it really got the shaft when it came to radio play, because we got it played a lot on our station when I was in Ohio, but it didn't seem to dent the national top 40, where it didn't get as much airplay. And like I said, it peaked in the 30s somewhere, it deserved better. Mm-hmm. And it is my all-time favorite song by that band. Number 5, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes by Asia.
Yeah, I would consider them more prog.
They're progressive rock.
Yeah, but that's just me.
Or symphonic rock.
Number 5 is one song that I'm not usually one of these people that's like, oh, what would you do if you had a time machine? People have really esoteric answers for that. Oh, I'd go back and do this. Oh, I'd go back and do that. Oh, I'd go back and shoot Hitler. I'd, go back and do blah, blah, blah.
Butterfly effect.
I never really answer those questions because that's my thing. I'm always like, when you come back, you're going to find out like mutant koalas are ruling the earth or whatever. But if there's one thing that I could use for a time machine, I would have gone back to 1989 or gone forward to 1989. When I was graduating high school, I would have gone forward to 1989, grabbed this song, run back with it, and made everybody in my senior class vote for this song to be our class song. Because this is one of the most perfect class songs ever. Number 5 on my list, I Remember You from Skid Row. Okay. Off of their album Skid Row it was released in 1989.
What did you guys have? You had That's What Friends Are For.
We had That's What Friends Are For. I still throw up in my mouth when I think about that because we hated each other. Our class was just always tearing at each other. Anyway, I loved this song. It's, just this whole idea of the person in your life that they're not there anymore. That part of your life is past, and you want to get it back because you want to be with that person, and you just feel so lonely and lost without them. And I just love I love Sebastian Bach's voice.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bass has
his
always
voice
had a great
is
voice.
just incredible. He can do
Even
the real,
now. Yeah.
huh?
He's still at it.
Oh yeah,
got a
he's
great
totally
voice.
still out there and rocking hard. Most of these bands are still out there and rocking.
Most
you
of
know,
them are with other members.
other
so.
singers. Some of them were with different singers. But anyway, I loved this song. I loved the melancholiness of it. I love Sebastian's voice. I just love it to pieces. My number 5, I Remember You from Skid Row.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I like 18 in Life probably would have qualified too. That's a good song too.
That's a little too hard.
Too hard for you?
For this list,
Okay.
I think it is. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's about the same. Number 4 on my list is my favorite song by this band. I've never got to see them live. I really always regretted that. And now they still perform, but they don't have the original lead singer because he's retired and health reasons, and they have a lot of other things going on. But I've always been a huge fan of Foreigner since they first started way back in the 70s with Feels Like the First Time, which is out again in a remake, by the way, by Rascal Flatts that is absolutely awesome. But this song, I have the other two biggies, Waiting for a Girl Like You and I Want to Know What Love Is, further down on my list. Those are the big ones. But I always loved this song. I was partial to this song from the very beginning. I thought it was the best song off the album it was on, and I still think it's my all-time favorite Foreigner song. My number 4 was That Was Yesterday by Foreigner from their album Agent Provocateur, which came out in 1985.
That's the name of that song?
That Was Yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was called Yesterday's Gone, but
No. That Was Yesterday, and that song, I love it I'm a sucker for good keyboard hooks on practically everything.
True.
Keyboard and sax hooks. Those two things just like, ugh. And guitar does too, but not quite the same way. And this song's keyboards just blow me away. I love it. It's the best thing they ever did. And the song is kind of sad. It's a breakup song, and it's one of Lou Graham's best vocals. And I just like terrific stuff. Number 4, That Was Yesterday by Foreigner.
Okay. Number 4 on my list is, now this is another band. They had some really great songs on their first album, on their debut album, that would have qualified as, rock ballad material. But this is the one that if you ask me what's a seminal glam ballad, it would be this. This song would be in the top 5. My number 4 is Every Rose Has Its Thorn from Poison off of their 1988 album Open Up and Say Ah. Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, fine. You know it's in my head all the time, 24/7.
No, I'm not doing as well as I thought I would. Anyway.
This is just such a heartbreaking song. I mean, it's just that whole thing about the beginning. For one thing, the beginning of the song is just that sigh from Bret Michaels that just sounds like the entire weight of the world is resting on his shoulders. And then, the lyrics are, was it something I said or something I did? Did the words not come out right, though I tried not to hurt you? And it just goes on from there, and it's just talking about a relationship that's just not working, and the fact that, even though there are good parts of it, there's too much that hurts for this to be healthy for either of the people involved. And it's just so incredibly touching. It's just this really, really touching song. There was also, like I mentioned, the debut album, Look What the Cat Dragged In. There was, I Won't Forget You was also a song I would have considered, but this was this one has my heart. It completely has my heart. Cause just that sigh, like I said at the beginning, and it's just that instantly has me being like, oh, let me hold you. It'll be all right. My number 4, Every Rose Has Its Thorn from Poison.
Yeah, that was in my short list too. And so was Something to Believe In. My number 3 is a little bit off kilter because they don't normally think of them as doing ballads. They've had one true ballad, I think, in all their entire output, but that isn't the one I picked. It was in my bottom. It's in my also rans too. But I have been a fan of the band since they first hit in, I think, 99, 98, somewhere in there. And I just really, I get what they're doing. I get what their message is. I get where they're going and why they're doing what they're doing. in some circles, they are as hated as Nickelback, which I don't understand. I really don't.
What, this band is hated, or why people hate Nickelback?
No, either one.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have a problem with Nickelback. But this band has that same reputation among certain core fans, and I don't know why. There's nothing wrong. I mean, in later albums, they've expanded to more like love songs and stuff that they normally do. But most of their songs speak directly to teenagers. They're aimed at teenagers, getting teenagers through the roughest portion of life, age 13 to 19. Mm-hmm. And they do such a great job. On their second most recent album, I hadn't heard it yet. I got it. I downloaded it from Amazon when it came out. And I was listening to the album on the bus. And this is the next to last song on that album, and I just started bawling. I mean, that touches me that much. My number 3 of all-time rock ballads is this song "Save My Life" by Simple Plan. This song is basically, I think Sebastian Favreau, the lead singer of the band, wrote this from letters they'd received from teenagers about how things had gotten better between parents or whatever because of their music. Mm-hmm. And this was a thank you to the band from the fans, and in return, a fan-oriented thank you from the band for making them successful. It's a beautiful song. And if you are, if you know people who are having trouble like that, this is the song and other songs by Simple Plan that will help them get through things. I know that sounds maudlin, and I'm sorry, but I just love their stuff, and I love the message. They've done great stuff without that message too. Mm-hmm.
I'm just a kid. And
that's
stuff like that, yeah.
Definitely part of that message.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Jet Lag and some of the later stuff. Mm-hmm. But I just love that song, Simple Plan, and the song "Saved My Life," number 3.
Okay. Number 3 on my list. Number 3 on my list is "Heaven" from Warrant. From their album...
She's going to have trouble talking about this
Dirty,
one, so.
Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich from 1989. No, I know. I mean, because it's amazing how some stuff can still hurt. You know, we lost Janie Lane way too young. And whenever I think of Janie, and I do, because this was a part of my life that I was actually pretty happy, you know. I remember this video. I remember the band all in white, and I remember him looking into the camera with this wink and a smile. And that's the Janie Lane that's in my heart. Mm-hmm. And this song is in my heart. It's just the imagery in this song where he's talking about the picture of his girlfriend in front of her house and all this stuff like that. And it's just, it was beautiful before we lost him, and after we lost him, it became something more. I mean, I know that sounds like, now I don't mean to be maudlin, but it became something precious to me, and it's something that I will always hold on to, and I will always remember, and I will always remember that smile. And I wish I knew what had been going on behind it, because maybe if somebody did, things might have been different.
They determined it was an accident.
Well, yeah, I know. But my number 3 is "Heaven" from Warrant.
Yeah, be grateful you got the chance to see them live right near the end.
Yeah.
We went to in 99 or 2000 to see them at Hampton Beach. Mm-hmm. And no, we didn't get to stay till the end of the concert because we were with somebody who didn't want to get caught in traffic. But you still got to see most of them.
Yeah, I did. No, I did. I would never, take those. I would never be like, oh, I only got to see part of the concert. I got to see them.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I look at it, and that's the way I'll always look at it.
Yeah. My number 2 is going to blow everybody's mind, because if you are a fan of my music site, the Kirkham Report, you may be familiar with this guy at this point, but most people aren't going to know him. And the reason is because he's not from America. He's not from most of your normal non-American countries that hit the charts in America, like the UK or Ireland or Australia. No, he's Polish. And I'm like, this guy, very rarely do I hear a song that so sends chills down my spine, that I'm like, oh my God, I have to get this right this freaking second. This is the song that hooked me forever on the Eurovision Song Contest. It was the 2016 entry from Poland, and I have been a fan of Michael Sispak ever since. Number 2, Color of Your Life. This song is an amazing, his voice, he's the winner of Poland's version of The Voice or X Factor, I forget, a year or so before he hit the big stage in Eurovision. And this kid he's 25, he's got an amazing voice. He knows English, sings both in English and Polish. Look him up on Spotify, Michel, last name Szpak. I will guarantee you he will electrify you with his performances. And this song, I don't know, I was so pissed because when the voting started at Eurovision, it barely dented anything from the judges. The public shot it into the top 10. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how can the judges miss this song? It's so good. It made me realize once and for all just how corrupt the music country judges are in Eurovision, which everybody knows and it's part of the fun. But still, I would have been pissed if this hadn't done better because it's such a great song. And of course, America didn't touch it. Number 2, Color of Your Life, Michael Sispak. Please, Michael Sispak, please find his song.
Okay.
It'll be on the Spotify channel.
Number 2 on my list is a song that this band, unfortunately, never got the recognition that it deserved because they're a great band. One song actually did get some airplay and got some, love on MTV. It was another ballad. And I like that one, don't get me wrong, but I like this one more. My number 2 is Tear Down the Walls from Kix, from their 1991 album of the same title. They're probably better known from some people from Don't Close Your Eyes, which was off the album Blow My Fuse,
which was actually a top 40 hit too.
Earlier album. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what it is about this song that really, I can tell you that it just kind of resonated with me. It's just because I love Kix. They're one of these bands that, like I said, they just don't get the love that they deserve. Steve Whiteman, who is an incredible singer and harmonica player and also played acoustic guitar on this song, there is just so much raw pain in his voice when he sings this song. And it's just so incredibly amazing that once you hear it once, even though you feel like it's breaking his heart to sing it and breaking your heart to listen to it because it's so gut-wrenching, you'll listen to it again and again and again. And if you discover Kix, you're going to become a fan. Because they are really awesome. And they don't get enough love.
Kim likes a lot of bands that nobody's heard of that you can actually find a lot of them on Spotify.
I know.
You should put together a recommendation list.
Blame that from being a devourer of Metal Edge back in the day, and I would always
go into it. I found a whole bunch of good bands.
I would always go to the section about the new bands and be like, oh, he's cute, I'll go check him out. Oh, they're cute, I'll go check them out. And that never really failed me. I never found a band that I was like, oh man, that
cuteness factor in hair metal equals good album.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woman needs Don't Judge. So my number 2, Tear Down the Walls by Kix.
I'm not really familiar with that as I was, Don't Close Your Eyes, but I love that song. My number 1, Kim inadvertently gave away a few minutes ago, but it's like...
Oops.
It's okay. This song is available on YouTube. The song is not available on Spotify, so you'll have to go over to see it on YouTube. They had the videos up on YouTube, too. And it's like, why wasn't this... If this had been timed for release 6 months earlier, and it never came out as a single. The only single from the album was the cover of 19. They never released this as a single. If they had... Rock radio probably would have played it, and pop radio might have crossed over if they'd been able to get on MTV other than Headbangers Ball, which is where they were relegated to. But I'm sorry, it's just simply the greatest gut-wrenching romantic breakup love song of all time. And the voice in the, I mean, you will admit to me, for someone who at the time was 16, Danny Cooksey's voice is freaking amazing.
Oh, he's an amazing singer.
Number one rock ballad of all time, Bad for Good's Nothing's Great About a Heartache. What a fantastic song. This song, most people know Danny from two places. They either know him as Sam on Different Strokes or Bobby Budnick on Salute Your Shorts, and it's like, okay.
Or as the voice of Dave the Barbarian.
Well, yeah, but I was saying TV.
Work.
I'm not talking about voiceover work. Yeah. For TV. And he was, like I said, he started singing on TV on The Tonight Show when he was 5. But I hadn't seen him a couple years. I wasn't aware he was on Salute Your Shorts when Kim turned me on to this album. Was this you? No.
I don't.
Or did I turn you on to? No, it was Kmart. Kmart had the video for 19 on their video selection thing. And I was like, why does that kid look so familiar? That's not to sell the rest of the band short. Produced by Steve Vai, with drums by Brooks Wackerman, bass by Jack Young, and lead guitar by Thomas McLaughlin. And the vocals, Cooksey did all the vocals.
Yeah,
on
see,
the
the thing is, Danny's such a talented singer, and his work as an actor, that makes him able to infuse even more emotion into his work.
Yeah, it is. And Nothing's Great About a Heartache was just the most unfairly non-hit of that year, because it was such a great song. His new band is called Shelter Dogs. They are working on a new album. Most recently, it was 4 years ago. Has some great stuff on it. Lost actually made my short list because I've always loved Danny's voice. I love his version of Money. That's What I Want as Montana Max on the Tiny Toons soundtrack too. But this song is just amazing.
Okay.
Nothing's Great About a Heartache, Bad for Good. Check it out on YouTube. It is there.
Okay. Number one on my list is a song that I do think that some people are going to be like, you're kidding. You know, the way that people who listen to this show and people who know me or know part of me from our podcast and such. My number one is Honestly from Stryper.
Oh, I never thought of that one. And
from
that's
their
perfect for you.
From their 1987 album To Hell with the Devil. I know a lot of people sneer at Christian metal, and that's fine. People have a right to do that. Some Christian metal is really over the top with the bashing you over the head with the message. And okay, Honestly is not one of those songs. Honestly can be listened to so many different ways. At no point in the song Honestly is God's name mentioned at all. If you listen to the lyrics to Honestly and just read them, it can be told from the point of view of God speaking to his creations. But it can also be a lover talking to a lover. Mm-hmm. It can be a parent talking to a child. It's the whole thing of, I believe in you. I love you. Mm-hmm. And
that helped a lot during your teenage
years. This music saved my life. And I realize that sounds...
No, it doesn't.
I realize that sounds so melodramatic and so Lifetime movie.
It doesn't.
But it did. This music made me realize that you don't need to be in a church to talk to God. Mm-hmm. And that hit me at a point in my life when I really needed that message. And I would never go out there and be like, I don't witness. Catholics don't witness. It's just, we don't. But this music reached a part of me and made a part of me grow as a person. And it changed me. And I will forever be grateful to that band for that. Mm-hmm. So my number one, Honestly, from Stryper.
Can I say something?
Sure. We
saw Stryper in concert on at the House of Blues on September 11th one year.
Yeah.
After the attacks. My hearing has never recovered.
No.
Because their opening act had bass so bad, it was something else. And I was just like, wow. They were great live. And I mean, even then.
Yeah.
Michael lives in Nantucket right?
He lives up here in Massachusetts somewhere. I wouldn't.
And he's a great singer. And that song, it was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Although they're better known for their cover of Winter Wonderland, I think, because it got played every Christmas.
Well.
All right. Running them up again. Number 10 on my list of the top 10 rock ballads. Number 10, Breathe a Sigh by Def Leppard. Number 9, November Rain, Guns N' Roses, which I do not believe is not on your list. Number 8, More Than Words, Extreme. Number 7, When I Look Into Your Eyes, Firehouse. Number 6, Slow and Beautiful, Bad for Good. Number 5, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Asia. Number 4, That Was Yesterday, Foreigner. Number 3, This Song Saved My Life, Simple Plan. Number 2, Color of Your Life, Michelle Sisbach. And number 1, Nothing's Great About a Heartache by Bad for Good.
Okay. My list is number 10, Beth by Kiss. Number 9, Is This Love by Whitesnake. Number 8, Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue. Number 7, Love of a Lifetime by Firehouse. Number 6, More Than Words by Extreme. Number 5, I Remember You by Skid Row. Number 4, Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. Number 3, Heaven by Warrant. Number 2, Tear Down the Walls by Kix. And number 1, Honestly by Stryper.
So you want to know how I did?
Huh?
You want to know how I did?
Yeah, sure.
I when I first told her about this, I said I can name at least 6 songs on your top 10. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I screwed up is she didn't put November Rain on there.
The reason I didn't put November Rain on here is simply because it's a complete me thing, and I admit it. Whenever I think of November Rain, I think of the videos, and I think of the fact that they were all supposed to...
Think of Estranged, thank you, what's her name? I know.
And I think about the fact that Estranged was supposed to tie everything together, and we get Axl Rose dances with dolphins, and I get mad.
Okay.
So,
but I got Beth, Love of a Lifetime, More Than Words, Heaven, and Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Okay, you got 4. That's
I
not
had
bad.
3 other ones on my list, too. One of them I'm stunned isn't on your list instead of Kicks or one of those.
Yeah?
Steel Hearts, I'll Never Let You Go.
There's a very good reason it wasn't on my list.
I forgot it.
Yes.
And the other 2 were both Queen related. Freddie Mercury's solo, The Great Pretender, and The Show Must Go On.
I don't
it's hard.
Well, the reason the Queen stuff wasn't on there is because I was leaning more toward metal for the most part with this list, and I don't consider Queen heavy metal.
Okay, well, you said rock, so I can say rock.
I understand. I understand.
I also want to mention a song that I would have put on this list had it not been too pop for me. Mm-hmm. It's a song that I have always loved, and I consider it to be our song when I was living in Ohio before I moved up here. Because it was about a long-distance relationship, and I loved it. A song called Needin' Someone by The Party from their album Free. Chase Hampton vocals, and it's terrific. But it's a little too pop for this list.
Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
Yes. Oh, boy.
I hope we haven't done this. We may have done it before.
Well,
if we have, we'll change it midweek and have a different list. But since you went music, I'm going to go music, too.
Okay.
I want us to pick up and really think this out. We want our listeners to really have fun listening to this next one, too. Because it'll blow their minds.
All right.
I want you to come up with your top 10 most unexpectedly off-the-wall covers.
Okay.
Don't have to be hits. Don't have to be hits.
No.
They don't. I mean, the song, people may not know it's a cover, but it is. Or most of the time, you'll probably pick stuff that is known to people as to be a cover.
I don't think we've may
have done a cover song, but I'm not sure. But I want you to think of the most outrageous, most goofy, most crazy cover songs you've ever heard, and which ones you love, and why.
Okay. That sounds like
I
it's
know
going to
you
be...
could probably pinpoint several of those that are going to be on my list.
Oh, I can think of one.
Does the cover of the album depict something rather interesting?
I think we might be thinking of something different.
Okay, good.
Actually,
anyway.
I can think of 2, so I'll have to talk with you when we're off mic.
I'm not telling. Anyway, we'd like also to do your lists.
Mm-hmm.
So please send us some list ideas. If we use your idea, we will give you a prize, and you will also get your name on the show and on the site. Mm-hmm. And we really would love to hear from you. We also would love it if you come on board Patreon. Patreon's going to be changing their format in a couple months, and we'll have more about that when it comes down the road in mid-May. But right now, minimum is $2 a month, and you get your name on the site for that. But if you go to $5 a month or more, you get 3 entirely exclusive podcasts. Kim's brilliant Kaiju Corner.
Oh, stop.
Where she's analyzing mostly right now Godzilla stuff, but she's got tons to choose from, and they've all been really fun to listen to. Our review show, which we've combined with our old format of show's title and is now called Microfocus. It's our review show, but there'll be more in-depth reviews. Spoilers ahead, so don't forget that. And Freeze Frame, which is our discussion show about current in the news topics in Hollywood and stuff in entertainment. So those will be available for the $5 and above level. Plus, you can get all kinds of other perks as you move on up. And we have a lot we'd like to be able to do. And we can't afford to do it without your help. I mean, we'd love to be able to bring you more shows. We'd love to be able to bring you more film festival coverage. We'd love to be able to do all kinds of crazy stuff that would put us on the map as a top site. But we really can't afford to unless we have your help. So please join us at patreon.com/PNRNetworks. And while you're at it, don't forget to listen to all of our other shows and like those shows, share them with your friends, and subscribe. Let everybody know we're out here. That includes Subject Cinema, Kim's shows, Platinum Rose's Garden, and Ring Around the Rosie. My show, Catastrophe Vortex, which will be back on probably April 8th. Also, the mini shows, 3 Minute Weekend and Tuesday Digidex. My music stuff on YouTube under the Kirkham Report, which right now is in limbo. The charts will be back next weekend, but the shows are in limbo while this crap with European parliament's going on. YouTube's going to go away if they pass that damn law. And so be aware of that. Anthony Lamberti's show is over there too. Aunt B's Nerd Grotto. And don't forget Cavebabble with Eric and Valerie Lyon at cavebabble.com.
Yep.
Twitter. She's always active on Twitter. I'm less active.
I am. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at PlatinumRoselle@Twitter.com.
And follow me at eCinemaOne, eCinemaBoston, and TKR Online. I'm most active on eCinemaBoston, especially right now, because we're right in the middle of our Boston Springs Festival coverage, which means I'm posting 3 or 4 times a day. And I'm gearing up for Kirkham Report and eCinemaOne coverage, and also over on BiblioMusica, our other site, gearing up for Eurovision coverage starting in early April. So be sure to check that out too. So next week, most outlandish, crazy, awesome covers of all time.
Yep.
I think that sounds good.
I do too. So we hope you will come back next week. I'm Kim Brown.
I'm TC Kirkham.
And I hope we can count on you to come back next week and count up another list here on Front Row 5 and 10.
Count on it.
Bye.
You've been listening to Front Row 5 and 10 with Kim Brown and TC Kirkham.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.
PNR